Welcome to the deep dive. Ever think about how really ancient rules, these old rituals, might actually connect to one central figure?
Yeah, and what that tells us about purpose, about meaning, even for us today.
Exactly.
So this deep dive, we're calling it the Shadows Reality. We're looking at some ancient texts, specifically exploring this relationship they talk about between the law and the Messiah.
Right. And how certain practices, these commandments, they're described as like temporary things, shadows.
Shadows, yeah, that's the word they use. Pointing towards something bigger, kind of ultimate reality, or the body, as they put it.
Our mission here is to pull out the key insights, give you a clear path through these, honestly, quite deep ideas, and maybe find some surprising connections along the way.
Definitely surprising.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with the law itself. The sources, they say the law wasn't meant to be just thrown out, right?
No, not abolished. The word used is more like completed or perfected. Think culmination, not cancellation. And what's really fascinating is its main job. The law, primarily, it served to reveal sin.
Reveal sin. How so?
It wasn't like a ladder you climb to get perfect. It was more like a divinely given mirror.
A mirror. Oh.
Yeah. It made people really aware of, where they fell short, their transgressions. It showed the human condition, basically. Exposed this debt, you could say, showing the need for something more.
So that mirror idea is powerful. It shows us where we stand. But doesn't that just leave people feeling kind of condemned if it only shows the flaws?
That's a great point. And that's exactly where the Messiah figure comes in, to sort of deepen the reflection.
Deepen it.
Yeah. So you have the basic law, commandments like do not murder, do not commit adultery, right? The Messiah, according to these texts, took those and went deeper to inner thoughts, intentions, like anger towards someone is linked to murder or lust to adultery.
Okay, so it's not just what you do, but what's going on inside.
Precisely. It emphasized this internal kind of righteousness, something beyond just ticking boxes outwardly. The texts also mention, interestingly, that the law was given through angels.
Angels.
Yep. And it was meant to be in place until a specific figure arrived, this promised offspring.
Okay, so it had a built-in time limit, in a way.
You could see it like that. And connecting this to the bigger picture, the Messiah, who these texts identify as Jesus Christ, he's presented as that body, the reality.
In reality to which all those laws, feasts, new moons, Sabbaths, they were just the shadows.
Exactly. He's called the Word made flesh, like the divine truth literally walking around.
Okay, but here's something that's really interesting. If the law was all about rules, how does this emphasis on, love change things? Because that comes up a lot with the Messiah figure.
Right. It's not just about him fulfilling the requirements, like checking things off a list. It's about him embodying the whole point.
Embodying it.
Yeah. That core command, to love God completely and love your neighbor as yourself. He says that's the greatest commandment. There's nothing bigger.
And isn't that described somewhere as the fulfillment of the law itself? Love?
Yes, exactly. Romans 13:10. So love becomes the essence. And by becoming human, the texts call him the last Adam, he gives humanity a direct look, a way to see and hear the law lived out perfectly. A fresh start almost.
That leads to a pretty deep question, though.
Yeah.
If the law reveals this massive debt of sin, how could something like that, something seemingly infinite, actually be paid for?
That is the question, isn't it? The writings talk about this concept of dying on behalf of others, for those who repent, who turn around.
Dying on behalf of, like a substitution.
Kind of. It argues that the only price sufficient for sin, which offends an infinite God, had to be determined by God. And that price was God himself.
Wait, God himself?
Yes. Transcending anything in creation, God willingly becoming the sacrifice, paying this infinite price. That's presented as the ultimate reality these shadows were pointing towards.
Wow. Okay. So then, all those ancient sacrifices, the animals, the rituals, what were they teaching people about this ultimate payment?
They were like predictive blueprints. Really profound visual aids, actually. Each type of sacrifice was set up to teach a different aspect of what this ultimate Messiah sacrifice would involve.
Different aspects, like what?
Well, take the burnt offering. That was about total dedication, completely consumed, a fragrant offering. The Messiah is described as offering himself up just like that.
Okay.
Then you have the sin offering. That dealt with specific sins. Blood was sprinkled and the body was actually burned outside the camp.
Outside? Why outside?
Symbolically carrying the sin away. And it connects to the Messiah suffering outside the city gate, his blood entering the heavenly Holy of Holies, opening access for us. It also, interestingly, shifts the ultimate blame for temptation back onto Satan.
What else?
There's the guilt offering for specific wrongs needing restitution, repayment. The Messiah is depicted as paying that cost too.
Makes sense.
And the peace offering that was about reconciliation, communion, fellowship. The Messiah is our peace, reconciling us to God through his blood.
Okay, almost there. What about the grain offering?
Right, the grain offering, it was unique, always unleavened, mixed with oil, seasoned with salt.
Unleavened, meaning no yeast.
Exactly. Leaven often symbolized sin or corruption. So unleavened points to purity, the Messiah being without sin. The oil represents the Spirit, and salt. Salt speaks of the covenant, something lasting, unchanging. He's also called the first fruit of the resurrection. He is peace, the salt of the earth.
So putting it all together, these weren't just, random bloody rituals from a bygone era.
Not at all. They were deeply meaningful, visual lessons, teaching foundational ideas about sin, about substitution, sacrifice, about what it takes to be reconciled, and all pointing forward.
All pointing to this central figure, this Messiah.
Precisely. We've seen how these ancient laws, these sacrificial systems, the shadows, were all tangled up with and found their ultimate meaning, their reality in him.
They revealed the problem of sin. They guided people. And they foreshadowed this ultimate, infinite sacrifice that could actually bring reconciliation.
It's the core idea.
Okay, so here's something to chew on as we wrap up. If those ancient systems, those laws and rituals, were shadows pointing to a profound reality, what shadows, maybe incomplete ideas or things we encounter in our own lives or even in modern concepts today, might be unknowingly pointing us toward deeper truths, maybe future fulfillments we haven't grasped yet?